What's up, y'all? We're at Morningside Nature Center, Gainesville, Florida. I'm gonna go out with my homie Ray today.
Keep moving it all the
Exactly,
time, but
yeah.
you could adjust it.
I think we were, because me and Figs did what, like 35, 38 minutes, something like that, and my hand started going numb.
Yeah, they have it. It's like a filmer's belt or something. I
Yeah,
don't know
and
what
then
it's
you can
called.
get the stabilizer attached out and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I think that might be more like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
I think they have like pretty simple ones. Oh, don't they have like the back one where
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
do like it goes over your back and
Yeah.
you can.
I think I'll check a little bit more about it. I met with this videographer yesterday, and he's pushing me to get somebody to film, so like walk in front of us and do it, but I just don't.
It just doesn't seem as natural, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think because they have like the backpack attachments. You might just
Yeah.
want to look into that.
Yeah.
I know they have like it's like a shoulder. It's
But
like
then,
a shoulder
but if we
girdle
do
one.
that, then you would see it, right? Because it would be here, and then there's this thing coming over. Right?
Yeah, that's true. So you would have to do a waist one then.
Yeah. And I have to have a good stabilizer too, because
Well,
I bounce when
Well,
I walk.
that one, the one that I'm talking about, the waist has like the gyrate control.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like it'll adjust. But I mean that's pretty expensive, I would assume.
A snake hole. Look back there.
See it over back.
So I almost walked into 2 spiders yesterday, just
Ooh.
giant ones.
Where'd
I
you
went
guys
to
go?
so me and Figs we started at Wyatt's Coffee downtown, and then we walked over to Depot, and then did the Depot loop,
Oh, okay.
and then later in the afternoon.
Like over like more south towards like First Mag where it gets kind of like bushy a little bit. Or?
No, we just did the loop around the pond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then walked back. But as we were walking through, like I forgot the GRU's there, and it's so loud. So I had to cut it out, and then I went and did. I wanted to try this Jamaican place that's out off of. Oh shoot, I forgot. It's at Hawthorne Road.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called Island Flava.
Whoa, how long has that been there?
The guy said like 6-8 months, something like that.
Oh, so it's new. Okay, because I was like, what?
And he's from South Florida. Well, he's originally from Guyana. And it was good, dude. It was surprisingly good. I was a bit frustrated because when I have jerk, I always want festival.
Yeah.
And dude, no restaurants. It's so funny. Like Jamaican restaurants don't make festival.
Yeah, I mean, they just assume people don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always cool when you just see one.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
huh? Who are you? How'd you get here?
And then out that way, because it's in between Micanopy. So it's off Hawthorne. And then I took a right past Micanopy before you get on 75. And I went to this place called Bar Hammock Preserve. I'd never been there before. Dude, it's so nice back there.
So like over by where like Cafe Risque is and shit?
On the other side of the highway, or the
Oh,
freeway.
on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So after you go underneath 75.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's horse trails and
What?
bike trails and stuff back there.
That sounds dope. I definitely want to go to Devil's Mill Hopper.
I haven't been there.
Yeah, so that's what I want to go there because I mean I've been there before, long time ago. I've been there twice. It's really cool because it's basically like an old sinkhole,
Oh, word.
and so basically you go into the park, and then you walk on a trail, and eventually you just get to a spiraling staircase that goes down into a sinkhole,
Oh, whoa.
and then you end up on the bottom. And back in the day, in like, like early 1900s or whatever, the big rumor was because a bunch of people went missing was that the reason they call it Devil's Mill Hopper is because at the bottom was like an entrance to hell, and
Isn't that the same thing out at Blue Springs?
Yeah, well, they call it like that because it just looks like a portal that goes down because it attaches to the aquifer.
Yeah.
But Devil's Mill Hopper is just like there's like a running water stream down there. I haven't been there in like 5 years, but literally you go down there and there's just like a little trickling brook because of water runoff. It goes down into the sinkhole, and then that goes into the aquifer. But the rumors back in the day were like, yeah, like there's a devil that kidnapped women.
Isn't that also where that huge fire or chemical outlet, or was that Ring Park?
Ring Park, well, they had a lot of chemical runoff in Ring Park.
Mm.
And then they had to, because all those parking lots when Sam's Club and all this shit opened. a while ago,
Okay, yeah.
That affected our aquifer really bad. Because they did testing on the water and there'd be like oil and gasoline runoff and shit.
Dude, look. It's like a movie.
This reminds me of, like, this is like old
Wait,
Florida.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah!
Or no, is it Scorpion?
No, Scorpion, yeah.
Versus
like,
Johnny Cage?
Johnny Cage, yeah. Like all the fucking shit. That scene was so cool. Back when I was a fucking, like, 9 years old.
Yeah, dude, when that came out, me and my brother just went ham. My parents said we could go see it, and then my dad was like, okay, you can watch it, but no kicking each other at home when you get back.
Afterwards.
Because they knew we would just go nuts.
Like, no, I want to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like Daytona area too, because this is like you could like literally just imagine dinosaurs just walking around through this fauna.
Even when I drove through Tallahassee, like the Panhandle area, a lot of it looked like this. It reminded me of NorCal, like redwood forest-ish.
Yeah, California is fucking nuts with their redwoods. Like seeing like ones that are like 400 years old, and you're like, what the fuck? That bitch is huge.
Yeah. 30 feet wide.
Yeah, like fucking Swiss Family Robinson shit. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
So I've been, I put my daughters to bed every night. And then like the routine is we clean up all the toys, and then we go play music in the room, and then go take a bath. But every day I try and put on like a different genre of music.
So like, yeah.
Expose them. Yeah. So one night it's like Temptations, and then it's Whitney Houston, and then what's the other? Yeah, I got so mad at her because I put on Mariah Carey, and she's like, I don't like this. I'm like, wait, what? But yesterday I put on Johnny Cash, and she's like, ooh, I like this. It's what, Daddy? Cowboy music. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nailed it. I think it's really cool because I don't know. It's like you get to affect that. It's like a project for you. Because, like, in my head, it's like all those songs I heard when I was a kid, it'd be like, oh man, that's like just so fresh in my head for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it's like even like those little mini like interactions would be like, you know, like, oh, I heard that song. I remember that song when I was a kid.
What's
How you
up?
guys do?
I put on Thriller for him, and Ray is 6 and Kira's 3. First of all, Ray is like, I don't like this. I'm like, wait, what? And then, so every time I put on a Michael Jackson song, she doesn't like any of them. Yeah. But I forgot. I mean, Kira's still like, she's 3 years old, and then Thriller with all the zombies and stuff. I'm like, this is not the best idea.
In like the I'm still scared of everything phase.
But Rhea kept asking for it, so I just put it on for her a few days later.
She might even just like it because the other one doesn't like it.
Yeah, that too. And then Francine said, you can't watch that. So Rhea's exactly like me. What are you not supposed to do? I'm going to do that.
It's like, oh, so that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. This reminds me of Orlando fauna too. Like when I don't know if I told you a couple stories about me going out in the like St. John's River area.
St. John, Jack's, right?
No. Well, it goes all the way through.
Yeah.
But like the Orlando side, so like Econolatchee and all that area. I don't know, like Altamont kind of area. There's like a bunch of backwoods, and we were like, it was like a trail like this kind of, and we were like heading towards the water, and the brush was higher than this, and you know, like in video games where you hear like a loud noise, like a growl, and you're like, damn, that shit must be huge. I swear, like, the noise of the boar we heard, it was like, that boar must be like 12 feet tall. Like, it was like we were like, we need to go.
I was just thinking, why in the hell is Disney World in Orlando?
Because it had land that people didn't want to, no one thought to develop that area.
So what came first, Orlando or Disney World? Well, I understand Disneyland, right? Because
Yeah.
the studio's there. It makes sense. But
Disney World.
it's probably just on the other side of the country, so it just made sense that way.
Yeah, well, Disneyland definitely was like in the, like way back in like the '60s. I actually looked up all this shit like a couple months ago. Disneyland was like in the '50s or '60s, and then Disney World opened in the '80s, and they bought it because Florida needed, like, there was like a whole reason why. It was like they wanted a location that had good weather year round, and they wanted cheap land because they wanted to buy a shit ton of land.
Yeah. Every time I go through there, they own
it's literally
like 5 cities worth. Yeah.
Lake Buena Vista is Disney. Like, they have their own county, they have their own fire department, they have their own police.
How cool is this? I gotta keep remembering to slow this thing down.
Yeah, like your eyes process faster than
This is the beautiful thing. This is 4 minutes outside of. I mean, it's still in Gainesville, but
yeah.
Well, you live-
outskirts, so close.
you live downtownish, and
Yeah.
it's nothing to get here.
Yeah, literally, it said it would take me like 11 minutes. I think I got here in like 9.
This always reminds me of Swamp Thing.
I remember watching that when I was so young. Or like Anaconda or some shit.
Dude, that movie's so good.
Anaconda, the original.
With John Boyd. And then there's that one with the same dude from the Jungle Book.
I love this. I love this moss. Or like the thin grass cover. It's like a carpet. Sorry, I got too excited.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Let's see if we can show it to the people. Yeah, they can see it there.
Yeah, it like kind of sneaks up on you.
Hansel and Gretel.
It's like, oh, is this our path now?
This would not be a good thing to be crazy on acid.
Oh,
Well, depends.
It would be like, yo, the ground's alive. It's like fur. Be like
It's all glistening too from the dew.
The dew.
Wow.
This grass might be edible too. I want to like look up. I want to like take like some herbology classes.
There's a lot. There's this lady down in, what is it, Crone's Cradle Preserve or Farm down in Citra. And she started as a, I think blue, if I remember.
Blue?
Yeah. She started as a herbologist, but she also grew up on a farm. So when I first moved to town, you know, I want to work with all the farmers. And I went down to there, and she's like, you can eat this, you can eat that, you can eat that. Like, she knew everything.
Like chicory, this,
Yeah.
and this, and
And there was
this is good for stomach ache.
maybe like a 4-foot baby gator in the little pond that they had. And she just went over, and then it started coming up, and she ripped the something, you know, swamp grass, out of there, and he went to snap at it, and she just ripped it and then smacked him on the head. Like, dude, it's just like,
Pablo, you see that?
hey, like, calm down.
You're good.
Whoa, man. Good call. This is nice.
Yeah.
I went to go talk to Will.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I talked to him, 2 weeks ago when I still wasn't solidified in my idea. But I mean, the whole thing was, I just went out talking with figs, and it just like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And so now that I have a concept, because I've done a bunch of interviews where I sit down with people and then I'll like eat the food and then people watching me eat. And it's just like, it's not who I am.
It seems like you're putting yourself too much on blast.
It's like I'm acting at that point.
Oh, you're like, oh, I have to make it look good for them.
Yeah,
or like,
yeah. And then the crux of it was, I went to this place and I'm eating the food and reviewing it. I'm like, this is good, this is good. I'm like, this is meh. And that's the last thing I want to do is critique a chef.
Yeah.
Because there's some days where shit's a little bit off, or the person that cut it didn't do it. Like, just so
Or
many.
like your help wasn't like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. The guy's way
you got
behind.
a new
Yeah.
person, or
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
this, or...
And I'm not trying to expose any of that.
It's like Yeah, it's like, are you being helpful or hurtful? And it's
Yeah.
like for some reason, people do want to see people like, fucking wreck other people. But
Yeah.
I don't have that in me either to be like, hey, I'm an asshole, or like even like secret shopper shit. I did that for a little bit, and then at the end of the day, I was like,
Dude, a friend of mine in high school, there was some leadership club or a key club. I think he was part of the key club, and they went out to go buy cigarettes, like on purpose with the police force to get people fines and stuff. And
What?
when the students found out about it, because I think we were like sophomores or juniors, some people were pissed off at that guy.
Well, that's like setting up people, Like,
Yeah.
I smoked cigarettes in high school. Fuck.
But he didn't go to the one spot that would sell us booze. Because when you're in high school and you have a one spot,
Yeah.
you don't tell anybody about it.
No, because
Yeah.
then it just gets super out of hand.
Yeah.
We used to just like chill outside of the 7-Elevens in Daytona in like middle school and high school and be like, yo, we'll give you like $5 and you can keep the change if you get us a pack of like Black and Milds.
So I have the best story for that. So I was 7th or 8th grade, and we would walk from the middle school down to downtown and go play video games and stuff like that, or go to the record store. And there was this one place called the Newsstand. It's just a feeder. And Pamela Anderson Penthouse just came out, and everybody wanted it, but we're like 11 or 12.
Oh my god, it's like even if you put a suit on, you'd look like an ass.
And so I told my friends just as a joke, I'm like, dude, why don't we just ask that bum to go buy it for us? And nobody, who has the balls to do that?
Well,
So
as a child,
yeah, I mean, you're naive. You're like, okay, it's no big deal. So I walk up to this guy. I'm like, hey, can you go buy us 2 porns?
I'll take 2 of your finest porns.
Yeah, and the guy's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. So we gave him, let's say it's
Like
$8. I don't know,
Yeah.
$12. But we gave him like a 20 each, and then he just comes walking out with these 2 porns and gives them to me, and then I give them to my friend. And then word got out the next day,
Oh my god.
and at that point I was the coolest kid in school.
Dude, you scored that.
And I had to get, it was obnoxious. It was like 10.
Oh
So
my
I go back the next day. I'm like, hey, dude,
same
I need
bum?
to re-up on those.
same bum?
So he goes in there and buys 10 of this porn, and he comes walking out all happy and shit. I'm like, dude.
Well, the dude's making bread.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, obviously keep the change. Like, he's like, dude, you're not getting change back. Yeah, they're $40. I was like, for some reason, I was having weird flashbacks. I don't know. As soon as I like got a little older, all these like weird memories are coming back that like I forgot existed. You know what I mean? Like I had a memory where I was in like kindergarten, and I was on a swing set, and I remember it being like recess or something, and I was like swinging, and I dragged my feet in the sand, and I saw like a dime, and I was like, oh shit. And then I was like started just like digging for a treasure, and I remember like back then it was like, dude, I almost have like $2.80
What
in
if there's
change.
gold?
Like, yeah, I'm like, how much more money can I find here? Because like, you're in elementary school, your allowance is like $2.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
wow, I could buy a candy bar.
Yeah.
Money is such a strange concept to like realize that like, even when you get older, you're still broke.
Yeah, yeah. I felt so we give Rhea allowance money, or if she does a chore or whatever, and she puts it in the piggy bank, and she wanted to buy some stupid something, some toy. It's like, it's okay, I have money, let me just buy it. And that it's like, you have to be a parent at that point.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually not important at all.
Yeah, you're going to forget about this toy in like 10
Yeah, we
days.
went to Target, and it was raining outside, so she's like, oh, we need this umbrella, we need an umbrella. And I'm arguing with her about it, but it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, we don't need that umbrella.
you
So
get it.
she's like, okay, all right, I need it. Okay, you can have it. And then we go looking around, and then there's this
I need this.
7-foot inflatable unicorn that you can hook the sprinkler up to.
Oh my god.
And it's twice as expensive as the umbrella. And I'm like, whoa, you can have the umbrella or you can have this unicorn. So she's thinking about it for a while, and then we get the unicorn. And she doesn't even, I've hooked it up like 3 times and she doesn't even play in it.
Oh.
But,
Yeah.
you know, it's kids.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a part of that is like figuring out what you really like and what you don't like,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But at the expense of, you know, your parents' financial stability.
So how's the garden?
It's been pretty good. I just did liquid fertilizing a couple days ago. I just had some plans to actually take care of the kiwis. So I'm making basically like a giant like fence kind of deal that's gonna come up. I looked out and got these. Oh, that's a really cool shot right there. The tunnel of mystery. I lucked out and got these like giant rebars that are like probably like 10 feet long.
Did you steal them?
No, my buddy does construction. My buddy does construction. He has leftover materials all the time.
Yeah,
So like
it's the same thing.
yeah. half of my garden is like from him, like just free like cinders and shit. But it's like 10 foot long, and then it just has like a random L bend at the top.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm just gonna tack it in the ground like 2 or 3 feet between some of the cinders.
Yeah.
And then just like take that. I have this giant metal like kind of fencing kind of deal. I'm gonna cut that with wire cutters and then just like slide it over to make like a faux wall, a fake wall, whatever. And so then that's gonna be for the grapes, because the grapes are like all the grapes are ripe. I was gonna say.
Did you go by?
I didn't. So my grapes are ripe, so that
Okay.
means all of those are ripe too. Like, I'm waiting for them to like cultivate a little more sugar with the sun.
Yeah.
They're like.
Yeah, because did we
Dark
say
ass.
it's like, we went there, what, 2 weeks ago, and we said 2 to 3 weeks they should
Yeah.
be popping?
Yeah, because like all of mine are colored now. They're like all like deep red or deep black.
Gee, spiders back here. Left?
Yeah.
All right. I have a bad habit of getting lost in places like this.
Oh, remember Ring Park?
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
Well, I mean, that was my fault too. I was like, oh, let's go. Because, like, I just followed the stream, but I forgot how many tributaries they have over there. Like, all this, like, runoff to little small springs.
Yeah.
But Ring Park's so cool because it is still, like, right smack dab in the middle of town.
Yeah.
But, like, the water systems change on a monthly basis. Like, depending on, like, rainwater. Like, you'll just see a whole new fucking stream there.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Like,
Well, that was that one huge thing, that cliff that we saw.
yeah, like,
the water
collapsed.
runoff, yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool, like, little, like, ecosystem there. Freaks me out there when, like, you're like, I've been back there a couple times. I'm like, how did a deer get in here? And how long have you been here? And or how many major roads did you cross to get in here?
Yeah. They just plow through.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, what the fuck?
We have this, I'm assuming it's a possum. It might be a raccoon in our backyard that keeps digging holes underneath the fence. And then I'll just fill them up with bricks or tile or whatever. But
And then just make a new one?
Yeah, he just digs it up. And he actually is
Is
starting...
it big? Is it really wide or is it smaller?
8, maybe 10 inches. Like dug in trough, about that, yeah.
It could be
It's not a squirrel. It's definitely bigger than a
could be
squirrel.
an armadillo.
I wouldn't be surprised if that, but it goes through.
But-
Ours is the walk through. So he'll go from the right.
You know what it might be? A gopher turtle.
What's a gopher turtle?
What? They're land turtles that live in Florida. They have like really tall shell backs, with like yellow kind of like lines all over it. But they're called gopher turtles because they dig holes. In Daytona, we have like a family that lives between like 3 or 4 of our neighbors and our house. And when we first moved there, we were like, dude, what the fucking gopher turtles? And they just like go back and forth between all of our neighbors' lawns, and they've been living there for like years.
Oh, well, that would make sense then.
Because they just like travel around, eat shit, go
Yeah.
back somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're not like super, they're basically like close to like tortoises because they're not really like picky about water. These are like more like land turtles, but they live in like tropical areas. But they're really cool. They're like,
Why is my Facebook feed all flooded with the Ninja Turtles right now? Are you caught up with this? Like they all died or something?
what?
Yeah.
Well, I know Seth Rogen's making, executive producing a Ninja Turtles project. What, is this like something that happened in the comics or something?
I would assume so. There's one yesterday where Michelangelo is, sitting praying with his orange eye mask off, and then all of the, like the sword, the sai, and the bow, they're all up on the wall.
What?
Yeah.
Huh. That's dark.
Yeah.
I know Seth Rogen, like, I just saw something that Seth Rogen is like producing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles project. But I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But then again, like graphic novels and shit, like even I remember reading Street Fighter where like fucking there's like a Street Fighter comic that came out where literally I forgot who it was, but someone just goes and just murders everybody. It's like a Deadpool.
Akuma,
Deadpool,
yeah. And then there's one anime where Chun-Li gets raped. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, like what?
Whoa, calm down.
Like, what is going on? But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should be, I don't know, all y'all died? What?
Who knows? I mean, you don't really believe anything on Facebook anymore.
Then they're gonna make them all female turtles. It's gonna be like Ghostbusters again. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're rebooting it.
Yeah,
again.
that's what I figured. But it's like, are you gonna reboot it and like be like, hey, we remember those four, and now we have new four?
No,
or...
so the new one that they're apparently doing is they have all the originals in it, and then
they're older or something.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. And then
like...
Paul Rudd's in it, and then the guy.
Wait, it's live action?
Yeah.
So Seth Rogen is the one doing that. Yeah, it's that project.
Okay.
Yeah, because like they were talking about it. Like I think that's why you're seeing that. Because all I saw was this post that said like Seth Rogen's like doing executive producer for like this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bullshit. Like I'm like, huh? What are you? Like, really? Well, please make it good at least. Like,
No, I'm talking about Ghostbusters.
Oh, you're talking about Ghostbusters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus! I thought we were still talking about Jesus.
Yeah, they have all the original. Like, what is it? Bill Murray, Harold Ramis. Mr. Smith, and even what is it? Rick Moranis. He's gonna be in it. The guy that like dipped out forever.
Yeah, from Honey
I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. Dude, that's still such a good movie.
Oh,
it's so hokey.
I mean, they did a really good job with the claymation, like CGI stop motion. Yeah, like that shit was.
That used to be like an inside joke in my family. Don't touch the lawn. It's very important. The lawn. You don't want to. Touch it too much, the lawn. Like
there might be some, it's special.
Yeah.
Can I smoke on here?
Yeah.
We're definitely lost.
Yeah.
So I saw a yellow.
The yellow's the shorter one.
Oh, okay. 'Cause they all wrap around. I've only been here once.
So the blue is, I think it said like 3.5 miles, and then the yellow's like 1.5 miles.
Mm. Have you ever watched the Eric Andre show?
What's that?
Oh my god. He's just like this crazy dude. He has like his talk show. You would like it, I think, because it's just like very unorthodox. His intro every episode is him, like they show his set, and then he just runs through screaming like, ah! He like jumps off his couch and just like back dives into this board. And then there's like a bookshelf, and he just like tries to climb up it, falls through it, and like just like tackles his drummer and like throws all this shit and destroys a bunch of shit. And then afterwards, he sits in his chair, and then everyone just brings back all new equipment. And then he's like, and then Hannibal Buress is in it. He's the co-star. He just walks out, and everyone's like, yay.
It's a talk show or like a scripted?
It's a talk show.
It's kind of, yeah.
It's a talk show, but it's like, the way they get their guests is they're just like, hey, do you want to do this talk show for X amount of money? And they don't tell them what talk show it is.
Oh, okay.
And then they actually get famous people to come on, and like some of them are just like, oh, fuck.
That's what the Zach Galifianakis one.
It's kind of like that, but
and then
it's
have you seen what is it, Hot Ones on YouTube?
No.
Where they just eat a bunch of wings.
Oh yeah. I seen that. No, I like that one too. They just did.
It's funny that people keep going on it. Like they know they're gonna get blown out, and everybody goes.
Well, the Eric Andre show did it right though, because they just don't tell them what show they're on.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, so you get to sign this waiver, you know, like you're not gonna get hurt, but like
Do you mind getting mauled by a bear?
You may have to eat something. You may have to do this. You may have to do that. And like, and then he just has a bunch of, but he'll have like super famous people on it, and it's like you can tell that he's like, they gave me this budget. And I just looked and saw everything that I could hire and do, even if it's for 2 seconds. He got like Michael Bolton to come on or something, and just like he's like, so we can only afford him to play one note, and then he goes, he's like, whoop, and then that was it.
Dude, yesterday I got lost on Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, we're back.
Stand up.
Oh, that's
man,
some classic
for
shit.
Probably an hour and a half. I was watching Dangerfield on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He's such a that character in itself. Where he keeps like messing with his tie and moving around, and then the audience starts. In the beginning, they don't really know the joke, and he's like, "Oh, you know, my wife, she's horrible." And then the crowd will go, "How bad is she?" Or like, "How ugly is she?" And then, yeah.
Man, like classic late night is so ridiculous.
It's so underproduced. Like when you watch any late show or whatever now, it's so overly scripted. But that other stuff, like the old school one, it's just they're just riffing the whole time.
Eric Andre tries to make it seem as like fucking like literally you don't know what's gonna happen. He'll just like cut to things like and like the most recent episode we just watched was like usually he just has the intro and it's like 2 minutes or like a minute long where he's just fucking wrecking shit, and then Hannibal Beers comes out and he's like, are you gonna do a monologue or what are you gonna? He's like, no man, I'm busy. And he's like in the middle of like bashing on like a cello with like a hammer or something. And then he's like, I don't know, just play another episode. And then literally they just show Hannibal Beers click a thing. He's sitting next to the director now. He's just like,
I think he's moving to Ghana.
Who? Hannibal Beers?
I think so. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, really? Just for like the fuck of it, or?
I think he's just kind of done with the States for now, and then he needs some new material. I'm pretty sure it's Hannibal Buress, but he has ancestry. They're able to do that thing now where they can trace back
and then
DNA
you have...
to actual geographic locations.
Damn, how do you do that? Shit, this way. Yes.
Yeah. And then I think it's Ghana as well, where I saw 2019 was the year of the return, and they're almost like not prompting but encouraging African Americans to
come back to their heritage.
Come back, and they're actually giving citizenship, and I think there's like land packages and
citizenship and stuff to like kind of like restore Ghana.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
The craziest, there's tons of crazy stories, but Liberia as a country, like the history of Liberia. So years, like when slavery ended, they freed slaves, went back to Liberia, and then freed American slaves. And then they enslaved the people of Liberia.
What?
I'm pretty sure. I might be fucking that up.
At the end of these, you should be like, okay, now we're gonna do a fact check. Fact check. You ever listen to the Ron Burgundy podcast?
Oh no, I didn't. What?
What?
That's, okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna check that out.
Dude, it's so good. That's like probably like that's what got me into podcasts. Is I was like, wait, Ron Burgundy has a podcast, and it's actually Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And like it's his like assistant, and he's just like full blown Ron Burgundy.
He's the character.
And then like he's just like, it's like, yeah, don't they? I heard they eat their children there. And then she's like, no, that's not right. No, that's not right at all. And like they'll have like guests on where he's like, the Christmas episode's a good example. He's like, yeah, so on the show today we have a Christmas expert. And then she's like, Ron, I was trying to tell you, but you wouldn't let me talk. Like I couldn't find a Christmas expert, so I kind of just like offered to pay this guy $30 I met in the Starbucks line to come up here and talk about Christmas. He's like, what? Like, and then he's like, he keeps referring to him as a Christmas expert the whole time. He's like, well, I told you I'm not a Christmas expert. Like, And he's like, am I gonna get paid for this? Like, can I go now? Like,
I think last time we talked about Patrice O'Neill, and I've been listening to old Opie and Anthony, and dude, that guy, just him riffing it's just so fluid how he
banter.
insults. Yeah, he just insults everybody.
I just like, man, how do you, I don't know, like, obviously it's like you take material from your interests, but it's like some people in the business are like so eclectic with it. It's like, where do you have the time to delve in that much and also not say something incorrect and also like have like a prominent opinion but still like
wordsmithing.
And like, and also at the same time not ruin your fucking career by saying something so dumb, because it's like someone asks you a question. I mean, I think the best strategy, but then it's like, I don't really know much about that, and then the next thing would be like, oh, so and so doesn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like in like a celebrity world where it's like, oh, well, they don't care about like suffrage of this, and it's like, dude, I just didn't know. True. Like,
you have to know everything about everything.
That's like so. Whew. So I definitely feel like I have some level of autism where it's like, if I'm not fucking super interested in this, I'm not putting 100% in.
Dude, I talk about that all the time. Like when I'm in the restaurant and I'm super focused on prepping or whatever, and then somebody comes up to ask me a question, I get so fucking angry.
Yeah.
But it's like you're so
manage it though.
In, and then somebody just comes up, hello, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
I was in a rhythm.
Yeah.
How's your catering going?
Good. I booked that wedding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, you're gonna work it. Breakfast, lunch, hors d'oeuvres, and then plated dinner out in Alachua, at this horse farm. These super like awesome, chill people. Because of COVID, everything's changed 5-6 times, and so now it's just 15 people.
Oh wow.
So I just come in and then I just do a full breakfast spread, like buffet, lunch buffet, and then...
Because they're like letting them stay there and stuff, so it's like a full day kind of deal.
And they, the people whose house it's at, they also breed horses.
What?
And so they've got decent amount of land and enough space for people to roam around.
That sounds cool.
But yeah, well, I'll just have you come out for the plated dinner.
Yeah.
And we're going to do beef Wellington, asparagus... potatoes, just like simple steak stuff.
I just want to have a talk before, so I don't walk in like.
Oh no,
I want to know
your
your expectations before I walk in.
I just don't want to plate up 20 super precise plates to the right without any help. Like for what they're paying, it has to be.
The components and everything.
But setting up a breakfast buffet, a lunch buffet, that's easy.
Yeah, because it's like they're just large dishes you just set up, and it's like
I mean it's a brunch spread,
But basically it's like the reception dinner kind of deal.
Yeah. I think it'll be great out there. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous out on their farm.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm super down. Yeah, I gotta see. Yeah, so your unemployment. Yeah, you don't have to provide any of that. I don't know if you claimed recently.
Because it was shut down for a bit, and I did it 2 days ago.
Okay, so I don't know what your schedule's on, but the 23rd, yesterday, was the day for me to claim the last 2 weeks from.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go in there, you don't have. You just say no, like for everything.
Yeah.
And then if reason for COVID-19, why didn't you contact this person? COVID-19, and then so you don't need to provide any kind of information, because he basically like nulled that until it was supposed to be June 31st, and then he extended it to August 1st.
Yo, did you see how Trump canceled his Jacksonville campaign tour? But all the kids are still expected to go back to school. Man.
No, he did a 27-minute press conference last night, talking about how he was always on board with masks.
Francine was listening to him on her phone today, and I'm so tired of hearing his voice. Like enough's enough,
We started talking about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. And he started talking about the girlfriend that got roped recently for it. And he was like, yeah, you know, I've met her in Palm Springs. I guess they used to live there. But I wish them well. I wish her well. I wish, you know, I wish them well. I'm like, what?
What does that have to do with anything? You know, like,
why are you wishing her well? She was sex trafficking.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, if you had the chance, you probably pardoned them too, just like your other ding-dong friends that you pardoned. Like,
There's this whole rabbit hole I went down about adrenochrome. It's the blood of children, and
with, like,
Tom Hanks
stem
is
cells and shit?
Tom Hanks is murdering children, having sex with them, and then drinking their blood, and that's why J-Lo's face looks so young. And I'm like, dude, what? Like,
What?
2 + 2 = an orange. I'm like, what the? Like, this doesn't make any
That's
sense.
why J-Lo's face looks so young? The fuck? Jesus. There's definitely, like, you know,